Should drug-related offenses result in prison time?
I mean, what?
Let's say a guy gets pulled over and he has like a lot of cocaine on him. It's for personal use. He's not a drug dealer. What do you think should happen? Because right now, like, he'll get arrested, and if he doesn't have a lot of like a prior history, he'll probably be able to get bailed out or just released within a couple days. But he'll have a big court date, and then he'll probably have to do a lot of community service or some type of punishment. Maybe he'll serve a year. I don't know, that sort of thing.
Okay, well, why is cocaine illegal?
Because it is very harmful for you.
So, so there's a reason for it. So there's a reason why it's illegal. So if you're saying, should they be legalized? Okay, I mean not legalized,
decriminalized,
but shouldn't not be jailed. But let's say the same person is doing that. Let's say the first time you don't get jailed. You're saying they should not get jailed. Period. Let's say they make that.
Well, I haven't said any opinion yet. The question is,
yes. Then it's clearly yes. Of course they should be jailed.
Okay.
What kind of dumbass question is that?
Yeah. Do you think that helps? Like right now we have a ginormous drug issue in this country. Let's say like when people are caught with like their recreational use amount of drugs, they get jailed. What do you think? He should get like a year or something like that?
No, not a year. Not a year for drugs. And it depends on what the thing is.
Okay.
Like I've seen somebody, I had a homeboy caught for weed. He didn't even get detained.
Yeah, it depends how much.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said absolutely jail time, right? So how much?
It depends on what situation you're talking about. You're not being specific. Like the dude that got caught with cocaine?
Yeah.
I think he should be able to be bailed out right away, and then let his lawyers do the.
No, but okay. Let's say he's found guilty. He had about 2 weeks worth of recreational use worth of cocaine. I don't know how much that would be.
2 weeks worth?
Yeah.
I think like a week.
So when you said like jail for sure, I thought you meant like some serious time. So you think
no. Serious time should be for multiple repeated offenders.
Okay.
You don't go to jail for more. You don't go to jail for, a year if you get caught with 2 weeks of cocaine. That doesn't happen.
I have no idea exactly how it works, but like most people, if you're getting caught with like drugs that's bigger than weed, you probably have priors and whatnot, and maybe you resisted or something like that. But how does that? Okay, let's say a drug dealer. What about the coke dealer, the coke plug? He's got about a few months worth, and he's distributing it to people who are adults.
A dealer?
Yeah.
Now that's when it comes. Now that's when that's when long.
Okay, how much?
You get caught dealing, I'd say you should get a year.
Okay. Now, let's say there's someone who's just addicted to cocaine or meth or whatever it is, and they just keep getting a week here, a week there, a week there.
And it depends on the drug too. Like cocaine and meth.
Okay, yeah, meth is way worse, I know.
Yeah, like.
Okay, but my point being, how does this benefit society if it's like you're doing these like little slap on the wrist, like they're gonna come out and they're still addicts. Like it's not like anything changes. You just push it back a week before they do it again.
Okay, so what do you think? What
do I think should happen? Yeah. Ooh, I think that like if you're caught. So I've seen that certain places where it's decriminalized and like it looks horrible, and I've seen places where they have super strict rules and that doesn't work either. I think if you get caught with a certain amount of drugs, maybe you should almost be like forced into rehab or maybe fined. And if you were forced to the rehab and you still I'm not exactly sure what I think. That's why I'm thinking on the spot right now. But I don't think that just jailing everyone who's addicted to drugs does any benefit. I
never said jailing people to addicted to drugs on long term. I'm talking about jailing the people that do the dealings. I just said if someone just gets caught with, I don't even think he should really go to jail, to be honest. If he just got caught with personal use cocaine, I said he should go to jail for a week. If he gets caught with 2 weeks, honestly, I don't even really believe that. Mostly, I believe the people that should be, unless he keeps getting caught. If he keeps getting caught, then that's a different scenario.
What do you think needs to happen to like fix the drug issue in our country? Is kind of where I'm leading at. I'm not even saying like you said this, you said that. I'm just saying right now the law is you get caught with coke like that, like you're facing jail time. And in my opinion, I don't really think that's really that beneficial to society. We're paying for them to eat while they're in jail and all that.
Dude, if I had the solution to solve the drug problem in this country, I would not be sitting here with you. I'd be sitting on a yacht with Elon Musk. Let's get that. Or no, not with that dickhead. But I'll be sitting on a you know, on a yacht with
someone else that's rich.
with somebody else that's actually
LeBron.
No. Here's my thing. I'm not a type of person that when I get up, I forget about the people that like. You know,
Oh, you be there with your boys.
I'll be there with my boys. But I'm just trying to make a metaphor that like, if I could solve that issue, I'd have a whole lot more money than I have right now. Like that is like $1 billion, $1 trillion.
For sure, like same here. But I'm just saying, like, for the point of the video, you know, like, what do we think should happen? So we're saying here that we don't think they should be jailed.
We gotta crack down on the third-party sources that even have the ability to get. I don't know how the cocaine or the drug market work. I don't know how people even get their access to it. The people that sell it, but you gotta crack down on the roots of the issue before you could get down to the people. You gotta crack down on the dealers and the people that get the stuff from the, like, where do the dealers get their stuff from? I don't know. I'm not in the drug business. I don't know nothing about that.
I mean, yeah, a lot of drugs are flowing in from like the south, basically.
You deal with that.
So
close the fucking border. Close the fucking border. Stop letting these people come in from all these countries all over. Close that fucking border. You know, it's not just a drug problem. It's a life problem.
It's like a human trafficking problem.
It's a human trafficking problem, bro. Close the border.
Okay. So yeah, I think yeah, get to the root cause of it, right? And that's like we're just allowing like people to bring in like cartels essentially to profit off Americans, getting Americans addicted and like smuggling drugs into our country. I agree with that, but the thing is like there's still a demand for it. Like I know Trump right now is already trying to like, he kind of is, I guess, being successful in stopping.
They started it.
What do you mean?
They started the drug epidemic. They started it. The people, you know, I'm not going to say much here because I don't want to get killed, but I don't want to get killed. But I'm not saying Trump. I'm saying people that have been
in the government,
in position of powers. They're the ones that really started it. But
I'm not too educated on that.
Let's not go too much. I don't want to get into
that.
Yeah, you know.
I'm just more coming at it from the point is like, if like there's a will, there's a way, right? So like, let's say like we shut off the border. There's people who are super addicted. They'll find a way to make the drug themselves, and then all of a sudden they'll start selling it within the country. Like the issue that we need to solve that would fix everything is if the addiction rate was much lower. And we've mentioned cocaine several times. Cocaine is like, well, so many professionals are using it. Like it's not like gonna kill you instantly compared to like some of the more like fentanyl's the big issue.
That's the big one.
The problem is
too. Cocaine leads to fent. It's one step to another, and it all starts off from the, you know.
I thought you were gonna say it all starts with weed. Oh my god.
Or vaping. It does. That's what it does. It all starts off from there.
You think weed is a gateway drug?
You think people go straight into cocaine without smoking weed? When have you ever seen that? When have you ever seen somebody go from not doing shit to doing meth straight up?
No.
People go.
I've heard stories.
It goes from maybe you're a clean person till you start vaping. From you start vaping, then you start smoking weed. From you start smoking weed, then you start doing cocaine. You start doing shrooms.
Okay, so you think weed should be illegal then?
I say you tackled the root problem. Oh, weed should be legal. Weed should never be legalized. Period. All these states, I'll never believe in weed being legal. Never. Don't think weed should be legal. I don't think alcohol should be legal. There's a lot of things that I'd ban if I was like the person that was in charge. But again, I live by different principles and fundamentals that, you know, somebody like you would live by.
Let me say it like this, okay? Right now, there is a lot of people that are like in and out of jail or are in a bad crowd, maybe that are doing like petty theft and stuff like that, do rock with weed, right? Would you agree with that?
Say that again?
A lot of people who are in and out in jail and who are doing petty crime and who are like delinquents and stuff do rock with weed. Just a yes or no real quick.
That's a general question, but
yes or no? No, yes.
I don't know.
Okay.
You can't prove that.
I'm gonna say the average person who's like doing bad things probably does rock with weed, but I don't personally think that weed is the reason why they're criminals and lowlifes. You know, like whenever the adult has like the skater rebel kid who's like smoking weed and like vandalizing stuff and whatever and like going down the wrong path, so then people say weed is the gate, and then those people end up doing stronger drugs in the future and then becoming depressed, and people say weed is the cause of this. But I would come at it from another side and just say,
no.
Not till I'm done. No, I gotta say this part.
Can I ask a quick question?
Fine, real quick.
When have you seen a person go straight into cocaine, meth, fentanyl, all those higher level drugs? By definition, weed is a gateway drug because weed is the first drug that they do all the time, just by definition.
But the thing is, a lot of people do weed and then don't do that stuff.
Okay, that's true. It's just true. I was talking about how, you know, fornication, and I'm saying I was talking about how even little things lead to that. A lot of people could have their, you know, could make out with the girl and not, you know, and not have sex, but still, that is the gateway to having sex, no? You're not gonna straight put your you know what in somebody else, you know what. No, there's always things that leads to stuff. It's a ladder. No, you don't just jump from point A to point B.
I know what you're saying,
you
but
go A, B, C, D.
I know what you're saying, but as far as like with the legalization of marijuana, people who are in the bad crowd, people who don't want to follow rules, people who want to like be criminals essentially, they're always going to be attracted to that sort of thing. And because marijuana is not legal here right now, like where we are, a lot of good citizens don't try it. But I'm thinking if it was legal, a lot of people right now people who drink alcohol, who are like perfect, they're accountants or good citizens and whatnot, they would still like smoke weed and then be normal citizens. I'm saying weed gets a bad rep because it's illegal. It's more attractive and more available to people who are already like in a bad space as far as like, being criminals and stuff. I don't think it's the weed that leads. I would agree that most people that do like the crazy drugs did weed first.
Everybody.
What do you mean? Most
like 99.99%. Again, I'm gonna say this one more time.
90%. I've seen YouTube videos where like this dude goes to like places where people are addicted to meth and stuff, and they're like, I tried meth when I was 14, up in like Appalachia or something, and out in east of here, in like West Virginia. Okay, and I'm in college. There's certain people who like they don't rock with weed at all. They think weed is ghetto, but like they go to the bars and stuff, and then they get offered coke and like, yeah, coke is awesome, bruh. And then they start doing coke. Like I was talking to I met this guy about a month ago, and I asked him like, and he was drinking that night. I wasn't drinking, but he was drinking, and I was like, do you smoke? And he was like, no. I was like, but I do coke. He doesn't rock with weed, but he rocks with coke. So it happens. I would agree that most people that do the stronger drugs start off with weed. But that don't necessarily means that weed is the reason they progress to that. I think when you go look at places in like Cali, where there's a lot of people, they say I'm California sober, which means that means like they smoke weed and they do alcohol, but they don't do pills or anything else like that. I think that like because it's illegal, upstanding citizens aren't doing it as much. Of course, a lot of people just smoke anyways, right? But like I'm saying, if weed was just as legal and not as stigmatized, and it was seen in the same way as alcohol is, people don't start drinking alcohol and then all of a sudden they're doing like crazy drugs, I
would ban alcohol too, so
that's a completely different argument. That's because of your religion. I get that, okay?
No, not just because of my religion, just because I think it's a very, very evil thing.
Okay, you know what? We can get into that. Why would you ban alcohol?